Film Festival International, London Hammersmith. Welcome, Emil Trishnish.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Pleasure. Very well, thank you.
Excellent. Welcome to London.
Thank you. It's my first time here in London.
Yeah, fantastic. Have you managed to see any of the sites yet?
Not at all. I've been very much enjoying watching all the films, but I'm planning on, when I can, to squeeze in a little bit of sightseeing as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, you brought this fantastic project to us, the Singfest, the Literary of Music, and your tagline is "Unlocking the Potential Within." Now, that's very intriguing. So tell us a little bit about that.
So the film is really showing a particular school who really has a good understanding of what music means to education. So, for instance, when students try to learn in a particular way, they often get stuck and they can't go any further than that. But when you introduce arts and music into maths, into English and literacy, then suddenly they have the ability to go much, much higher than previously before. So the film really demonstrates and looks at this particular school who has that understanding and who would like to share their experiences and their philosophy with many other schools who unfortunately don't have any music programs whatsoever.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So you put this project together with obviously a team of like-minded people that wanted to create engagement within the school sector. You brought a group of schools together, I should imagine, for the festival itself, for the event itself.
Well, I was actually commissioned to do this as part through my business in Australia. So I was commissioned to come in and just capture basically a highlights sort of event of this day, which is a Singfest day, which the school has organized. So their intention was to share it, but their intention was also to capture that, to be able to share that with a larger audience.
Right.
So when I came in, my brief was to come up with about a 20-minute sort of highlights reel, but because I tend to get inspired and I saw the value and the philosophy of what the school had to offer, I kind of went beyond my budget and everything else, and I just dwelled into it and created a 50-minute film.
Okay.
But all of it was filmed in one day, so the whole event took place in one day. Most of the interviews were filmed on that day as well, and there was a second day which was probably half a day to capture a couple of more interviews of people who went there.
Right. Did you take it from one-to-one perspective, or was it talking heads that you filmed it from? Was it fly on the wall? Was it a mix and match of different styles?
It's a bit of a mix and match of different styles. So the entire film, there is no scripting whatsoever, so one could call it improvised. It's really what I was observing on that day and what I was capturing. So there was no script that's been attached to it or any kind of narrative sort of way of looking at it, which is often the case with documentaries. You come in, you have an idea of where you're going, and you also have an idea of what it is that you need to capture and what you want to have the ability to share back in a film. But a lot of it was on the fly interviews. There was a set of questions which I had prior to that, but all of it is natural expressions of people in the moment, because the idea was to capture people's responses, the teachers, the conductors, and everyone that was involved in the process in that moment, so you can capture their experience, their buzz from the day. Okay.
You've got your screening coming up today.
Yes.
So obviously now I'm intrigued to see this. It's very rare that we get something in that has such a selfless pull behind the campaign. So congratulations for that. I mean, there's not many good guys in the world that would just step up to the plate and basically say, it doesn't matter about the budget, I want to do the project, especially in this industry. So clearly you have a caring teaching background.
Definitely. So I'm a teacher as well, and my sort of background when I was in high school, they didn't have any sort of film units or film sort of aspect that I could pursue, and I felt always disadvantaged about that. So I had to pick up photography, which was the next closest area of it, but I wish there was a lot more offered to different needs for different learners, because we all learn differently, and just because someone gets stuck at a particular point, it doesn't mean that they are not able to. if you introduce a different way of educating, like such in this instance, music as a literacy or film as a literacy, then you got my attention. Then I want to learn, then I want to expand and take it to where my imagination sort of leads to.
Okay. No, excellent, excellent. No, I'm really, really intrigued with what you've got going on here. I mean, obviously we've got various films that have come out over the years, like, you know, Perfect Pitch and those sorts of engagement movies that are there to make you feel good, but also, you know, say it's actually okay for people to communicate and get together and create these things, these fantastic energy balls of entertainment, both in the community and obviously in the spotlight as well. It's definitely a very positive message that you're putting out there, that, you know, not just on the music front, but on the community engagement front as well, that, you know, people can get on and they can, and harmonizing in a song is a form of synergy. So that positive energy that comes from that one aspect goes on to create other positive energies. And, you know, pretty soon we get an amalgamation of positive energy. Everybody feels good and they're creating fantastic things. They forget about their troubles and they forget about everything else that we're supposed to have a tight focus on in the world, when we can't do anything about 95% of it anyway. So what we should really do is focus on getting the best we can out of our lives. And these catalysts for changes really pave the way towards that. So you've got this going on in Australia. Is there a movement to bring it to the UK and replicate that model, or is this a one-off and you've got something else in the back pocket that you want to do that's totally different? What is your goal for this model? I mean, this is clearly an infectious model that people will want to know more about, and I would imagine the ripple effect would be huge.
Absolutely. So I guess the idea is to get it out there as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because the more people have the ability to see the story, the more they have the ability to reflect upon their own sort of disadvantages when they were kids at school, and they can relate on that level. But also to recognize, particularly in a lot of educational departments, who often pull the funding away from it, rather than pouring more funding into it, because there's much scientific data out there that shows the link between learning any sort of art form, in particular music, and how that can actually help maths and English and so forth. So the idea is really the film is also available free online on my YouTube channel. And the whole idea behind it is that it's a free educational tool for people to be able to have access, rather than to have to pay and see. So they can have access to it, they can share it and use it as a form to really hopefully inspire a lot of teachers out there to knock on their principals' doors and say, we need more investment into music.
This is an engagement concept. Let's embed it into the way we teach. Yeah, it's great. That's great. I can see maths teachers all over the world bursting into song, doing the arithmetic.
There is this maths teacher somewhere in the States who uses in his classroom hip hop to rap all these equations for for students to remember, and they love him. He's their favorite teacher, and usually it's the PE or.
I'm not surprised.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just another way of, you know, introducing a different way of seeing things and applying it, and magical results can come from that. And I think this school in particular, Emerson School, is a really good place who really fully embedded that understanding of music, and their program is just expanding and growing, because it is also a special needs school with children of mild intellectual disabilities, and for them that even adds a whole new layer when it comes down to learning.
Absolutely.
Hence why unlocking the potential within.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, look, we have many a character in the teaching arena that start off with incredible intentions of changing the world, and then the curriculum kind of gets under their skin, and then the work ethic gets under their skin, and then the work weight gets under their skin, and they just become part of the system. Absolutely. This is something different. This rests nicely on the outside of things. It's got a well-being aspect to it. It's got an inclusion aspect to it. It's got an engagement aspect to it, the social engagement aspect to it, and obviously it's taken from the voluntary sector side of organizing it, so it's a selfless aspect as well. Are you looking for support for this project?
Absolutely. If we can distribute it as far as we can go, absolutely. Because to me, that just means the message will be louder and clearer.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that will have one way or another some kind of a positive impact for people to look at it differently, rather than completely dismiss it like educational departments often have been.
Well, I think social impact and corporate responsibility is something that's on everybody's minds right now. So if anybody's watching this and they think, ooh, that will fit in our community, or maybe even our country, this is the man to speak to. This is where it all begins. So, award ceremony's coming up. Yeah, awards evening.
Exciting.
You got a few nominations?
I do, yes. One is for Best Cinematography in a Documentary Film, and the other one is Best Sound Design.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, very, very exciting. And this is your first festival?
This is actually the fourth one for this particular film. So it's been at the Liftoff that got into the finalist top 3. Yeah. It won the Award of Merit at the IndieFest Film Festival, and also won Best Documentary at the Kolkata International Film Festival. So it's been traveling a little bit.
So it's had some international flavors already. Very nice, very nice. And did you go in tandem with the film? Did they stump up the plane ticket and the accommodation and whatnot, so you could attend and represent?
I took care of all of that myself through my own business. Okay. Because I often, because one thing I always wanted to do as a filmmaker is to give an area where there's goodness happening, and when I say goodness, someone with the right intention, wanting to really make a difference in seeing things in a different way, selfless way. I always wanted to be the filmmaker to be able to create films and stories like that give people like that the platform to shine. And so when it comes down to this area, I pretty much financed the whole trip to come down to London myself, because I can cover that through the business and stuff. But that was sort of my addition to helping the film get out there into the world.
Yeah, nice. That's great. I mean, it's you filmed it, you edited it. The subject matter is something obviously close to you, and now you're promoting it.
Absolutely.
This definitely needs to get some form of distribution. So, if anybody picks this up, this is the man to get in touch with. And if you can't get hold of Emil, then by all means get in touch with the festival, and we'll pass your inquiries forward. Good luck with the awards ceremony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure. It's been
Make sure you see a little bit of London before you go.
Will do. I'll try to squeeze that in. There's a little to-do list.
Exactly.
I hope I can squeeze it in.
Exactly. Or come back again, because it's fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in. Enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.